Well, we ended pretty tough work day out there today. Players have worked hard this week. This is a difficult preparation for us. I think you reach a point in the season where it gets more and more difficult for the players to, grind through what they have to do, but we've certainly worked hard at that. I think it all comes back down to, the kind of passion you have for what you want to accomplish and a good understanding of the positive energy and attitude that it takes to actually accomplish something that's meaningful and significant, and how difficult it is to sustain consistency in what you do, especially in a league like ours where every team that you play is a very good team. And South Carolina certainly is a very good team. It's a difficult preparation for us with all the things that they do on offense. Steve Spurrier is a very, very good offensive coach, and Ellis Johnson does a great job with their defense, and they've got some very good defensive players. So this is a very challenging game for us, and I don't really know much about homecoming. I know it's a great tradition that people have an opportunity to come back to something that they have a passion for, that they developed roots at, and look forward to the opportunity to come back to it, just like we all look forward to our opportunity to go home anytime we have a chance. And once you become a part of something that's bigger than yourself, like the University of Alabama, I know we have a lot of people that look forward to coming back to that, and we certainly look forward to them coming back, and hopefully, our team will make their visit a positive one. It was great to see that we had two players, Rolando McClain and Terrence Cody, and the finalists from the Lombardi Award, and or semifinalist or whatever. But I think both those guys have worked hard and done a great job for our team, and I think it's interesting that teams that have success seem to have more guys that get opportunities for positive self-gratification through these kinds of awards, and we're always happy to see players and coaches and people in our organization that get recognized for all the good work that they do for our team and our university and representing it in a first-class way. We don't really have any injury update. There's nothing really different than what we talked about before.
Coach, since Jeremy Pruitt was Corey Reamer's defensive back coach in high school, do you guys ever talk about his progress from then to now?
Excuse me?
Jeremy Pruitt was Corey Reamer's DB coach back at high school.
Right.
Does he ever talk about him as a high school player, where he's come from then?
Not really. I always tell Pruitt that he did such good a job of coaching him as a defensive back, we had to move him to linebacker.
And second, do you have any say in the homecoming date, choosing the homecoming game?
No, why? Is that an issue?
I'm just curious.
No. Should I?
I just thought you might ask.
They don't ask me much anything around here.
Coach, a guy who's not playing this year, but somebody we hadn't asked about yet is Phelan Jones. I'm just curious how he's progressing and if he's somebody you could see helping in the future.
Yeah, he does a nice job every day in practice. I think that, early in camp and during camp we tried to, give him a lot of reps so he'd get a chance to learn our system. Right now he works on the scout team and doesn't get a lot of chance and opportunity to make progress in that regard, but I've certainly seen a lot of positive signs. He's certainly athletic enough and has the physical tools and seems to be a bright enough guy to be able to understand the concepts and learn. He's in the meetings every day, so he is getting a lot of exposure to it, and I think this winter and this spring will be a real key for a guy like him, and there'll be a lot of opportunity because we are losing some players in the secondary this year with graduation, so a lot of opportunity for a lot of guys we recruit as well. Not that I'm aware of.
Coach, South Carolina has a safety / linebacker hybrid position, I guess, in its defense. I think they call it the spur position. Can you just talk about the challenge of recognizing what that guy wants to do and getting him blocked in the running game?
Well, basically, a lot of people play what you call a 4-2-5 system. which is sort of a quasi-nickel, type of package. And they have to have one guy that's sort of and I'm saying this in a complimentary way, kind of a hybrid guy who is really sort of part defensive back but part linebacker, who can really sort of do both. And he's got some coverage skills, but he can play in the box. And because they'll make a 4-3 out of the same scheme and an over and under out of the same scheme, where he becomes a part of the front seven, as well as playing him, more like a nickelback when they're in a 42 look. So, Virginia Tech had a very similar, type of player that they use. I don't know what they called him, and I don't know what South Carolina calls their guy either. But it really is a good scheme in this day and age because it allows you to adjust the formations. There's so many formation variables that it does allow you to have, instead of having to go to nickel to adjust to some formations, you can just play the people you have in the game because that guy's capable of making some of those adjustments that a linebacker might not. You might not feel comfortable with a linebacker making.
How's the competition going between Jarrell Harris and Nico Johnson this week?
Both guys are doing a good job. Both guys are working hard. I think the fact that, Nico's been in that position for 2 or 3 weeks now, and Jarrell is getting back into it. He's certainly doing a good job, but I think there's a little bit of rust there in terms of assignments relative to, not being with us for a few weeks. But he's doing a good job. Both guys are doing a good job, and I think both guys have a role on the team, and we haven't made a decision as to who will do what in this game yet.
And how much has red zone offense been emphasized at practice this week?
It's emphasized every week. Just like those turnovers that you used to ask me about when we weren't getting any. We did the same things then as we do now. We got 9 in the last 2 games, and we got 2 or 3 in the first 3 or 4 games. So, it's a point of emphasis, but, when it comes right down to it, it's not really about – it always comes down to your ability to execute what you do. You always think the other team did something or you need to do something different, but what it comes down to is you jumped off sides, you dropped the snap from center, you didn't block the right guy on this play, you made a mental error and we didn't do this, the quarterback threw the ball in the wrong place. So those are all things that we got to get corrected and fixed. All right, but there are also things that are fixable, and there are also things that we have done correctly in the past. So we'll just continue to work and try to get better execution, and I'm sure our players will do the same.
Coach, you just talked about homecoming and what it means coming back to your roots. You recently signed a long-term contract with Alabama. Talk about the roots that you're putting down here and how much at home you feel here.
Oh, we love it here. Terry really loves it here. We have a nice home, beautiful place. We've started to develop a lot of relationships with a lot of people, which I think is the most important thing about feeling comfortable in a place. And everybody has been extremely nice to it. We understand that in our business that all the love that we get is conditional, mostly on whether you win or lose. So we do understand that very well, but we also appreciate the positive energy and support that everybody has given us. And we not only do we enjoy being the coach here, but we enjoy very much being a part of the community. We enjoy very much giving back to the community, and that's very important to us so that people understand that they're important to us as well.
Coach, we ran into a couple up in Hartselle who, after you were hired, they named their son after you. The dad said he's actually met you and told you that story. I was just curious, what was your reaction when you heard that these folks actually named their son after you?
Well, I'm certainly, it's an honor to have anybody named after you, but I could think of a whole lot of probably maybe people that they could have chosen that might have been a little bit more, how do I say, I don't know, maybe a positive image for their child growing up. But I guess if they never see me at practice and they never see me get angry and they never see some of the not so good things, I guess it's okay. And I would go back to, I hope that, if we ever lose a game, that they're not disappointed. All right, thanks.